Hey guys, and welcome back to some Higurashi. Let's see what's my game volume here. There we go. There. You're all done. I already withdrew the needle from Satoko's arm. It must not have hurt much for the needle to be pulled out. Satoko kept her eyes closed in fear, thinking that the needle was still in her arm. Satoko, you're all done, you know. What? Uh-oh, it's finally over. As Satoko opened her eyes, she found that Ari was no longer sitting in front of her. Takano was wiping her arm with rubbing alcohol instead. That's right, you're all done now. Dr. Ari is good needles, unlike me. You'd even notice he was finished. Don't touch that part of your arm for a while, okay? Also, try not to carry anything heavy. Of course, I know that by now. Good for you, Satoko. I'll pat your head for you. It was nothing. There's nothing I did that would require you to pat my head. Not long ago, she would go into a panic when it was time for her to get her shot. The way she would behave today in itself is worthy of praise. Everyone in the room smiled, aware of that growth. Please give her the usual test, will you, Takano-san? Sure. Alright, Satoko-chan, it's time for the quiz we always do. Your quiz is always quite difficult for me. Take it easy. If it's too difficult, you can just tell me that you don't know the answer. You don't have to think too hard. Just tell me whatever comes to mind at the moment. Takano smiled at Satoko to ease her tension. And then she led Satoko to a desk in the back of the examination room. I hope Satoko gets better soon. I don't know if it's because of the heat, but Satoko has been showing negative symptoms since last month. The change of the seasons can affect her physically and emotionally. It's not a surprise that this is happening to her. I'm going to see Ari and ask him how Satoko is doing. What are you going to do, Hanyu? I'm going to stay with Satoko. Thank you. I'll leave it to you. Hanyu went over to where Satoko was. Fortunately, I'm the only one who can see Hanyu. She won't be a distraction if she goes and observes Satoko's test. I, of course, would be a distraction like that. This is supposed to be a routine exam, but it seems like the Takano is teasing her by giving her difficult questions. It would be pretty funny to observe how Satoko reacts to them. I'm a little jealous that Hanyu gets to watch everything without being a bother to Satoko. Harry was talking with two other staff members about Satoko's exam results. I walked up and joined them. Thank goodness, she seems to be improving. From what Ari was saying, her results must have turned out well. Ari, how is she? Don't worry, the results were good. I'll discuss this more with you two later. After ordering his staff to continue their work, Ari showed me some difficult paperwork and started explaining it to me. I guess we overreacted to the test results from last week. Her condition shifted dramatically because of the change in climate. Did she have a cold by any chance? There was one night recently that she was fairly hot. Satoko was sleeping without her blanket and her stomach was exposed. She might have caught a cold that night. She was sleeping with her belly exposed. I poked her belly button, but she didn't wake up at all. That sounds like fun. Please call me if that happens again. I would love to poke Satoko-chan's belly button too. It's so soft. Her belly is chunky too. It was so cute that I didn't want to cover it with a blanket. That's why she caught a cold, huh? Rika, I can hear you. You had better put a blanket on me next time. You're in the middle of a quiz, Satoko-chan. You need to concentrate. Ari and you and I all laughed. Satoko went back to her test with a bitter look on her face. Ari began speaking to me in a softer voice. She's in remission, but her level is still L3 negative. She was and will continue to be in a critical condition. She's never, ever going to get better. Just like with anaphylaxis, her body will be conditioned to react severely even after the foreign chemicals out of her system. In other words, she'll never move below the level 3 stage. Yes, that's right. But it's not the end of the world. She could control it by maintaining a proper lifestyle, as well as taking some medication, but I'll never be cured in her whole lifetime. I looked at Satoko as she enjoyed taking her test. She seemed to be having fun even while being teased by Takano. I can't believe that she's suffering from an incurable disease. think of it in a negative way, you're right, but many people in the world are coping with incurable illnesses. Diabetes is a good example. The condition itself can never be cured, but the symptoms can be controlled. I know that very well. There are many worse diseases in the world. Satoko might be in a relatively good situation compared to many other sick people. Of course, I'm not going to give up on her. I'll make sure that I'll cure her disease someday. I promise. I trust you. Yes, trust me. Irene spoke to me with a serious look on his face. As Satoko's best friend, I felt relieved to hear his words. I'm sure he'll do his best to save Satoko's life. I have no doubt that he'll do so. I've seen him act like this in every life I lived. I also know why he's so passionate to save her. But I'm not supposed to know about it in this life. That's why I always pretend not to see his sad smile. By the way, Rika-san, we'll be conducting another big test at the end of the month. Am I going to be the guinea pig this time? It's not like that. You're only helping our studies, which will save many people's lives. Ari's guinea pig is not just Satoko. I'm also one of them. Also, guinea pig is probably not the right term. Without Ari's efforts, Satoko would not be here today. For that reason, I should be showing respect to this man. I smiled at him since my choice of words had hurt his feelings. Meep. If testing me could save Satoko's life, I don't mind being a guinea pig. Thank you for your support. I wouldn't be causing you so much trouble if I had more money and equipment. The next moment, the phone rang. Ari answered it in his usual business-like tone. Hello, this is Ari. You have a call on the line from Tokyo. I'll transfer to the other phone. I could hear the voice on the phone. Oh, that must be Risa-san then. Is it that time of the year already? I'm going to pick it up at the office. Will you transfer it there? Absolutely. Please hang up on this line in that case. Okay. I'm sorry, Rika-san. I've got a call from Tokyo. Don't mind me. As soon as Ari hung up in the phone in the other room started ringing. He left the examination room and headed toward the office. And you returned to my side as soon as Ari left. And he doesn't like to be around me when I'm talking with Ari. I don't think she dislikes him. It's just that she doesn't really want to hear what he has to say. Ari doesn't mean any harm, but Henyu is often hurt by the things that come out of his mouth. How's Satoko doing? She's not good at the spot difference like usual. I was able to find more differences in her. I don't care how well you did. What about Satoko? I thought she was there to check on Satoko, but she was taking the quiz alongside her instead. That's so typical of Henyu. She was treating it almost like a game, as Satoko was tired after taking the same quiz every week. She seemed sleepy, especially after waking up so early this morning. The quiz in this case wasn't about a right or wrong answer. It was about timing in minutes, how long it took her to answer the question, and observing how she acted during the quiz. Not all the questions would be so simple ones, so Satoko often got headaches, more so than even the spelling test we take at school. Is it almost over? Yes, it is. The book Takano-san has written now is the last one. Takano-san was showing that book to Satoko with abstract pictures inside. I couldn't even tell if it was supposed to be a picture. It was just a symmetrical ink stain. This is the last one. What do you think this is? Both Henry and I looked at the picture over Satoko's shoulders. Even I didn't know what to answer when looking at that strange ink stain. Satoko continued to think. Takano-san observed her taking notes while Satoko struggled. She was also telling me how long it took her to answer, holding a stopwatch under the table. I spoke to Henyu so only she could hear me. What do you think it looks like, Henyu? It's a soft serve ice cream. It fell onto the ground and ended up like this. It's been wasted. I see this is a good test for understanding a person's mind. To me, it looked like a horse mackerel had been cut open and its guts pulled out. I was thinking of food, too. It was rather shocking to learn that my thought processes are the same with Hanyu's. What does it look like to you? You don't have to think too hard. Satoko must not be very good at this test. She always takes a long time to answer questions like this. She finally opened her mouth to speak. It's like two butterflies are on top of each other. Two butterflies on top of each other. Tell me more about it. Why are they on top of each other? Takano continued to take notes as Satoko spoke. Curious about what she was writing, I looked, but is that German? I can't read it at all. Takano is so mean. They were apart for some quite time. I finally reunited. They're excited to see each other again. I apologize. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. No, you're doing just fine. You can just tell me whatever is on your mind. That's the whole point of this test. Are you certain that such a strange answer is serving a purpose? Of course. For example, take this picture. You gave me a totally different answer last year. I could tell how much you changed by comparing how you respond. Really, I don't like this test. What did I even say last year? Takano smiled and took note without answering her question. I tried to remember what her answer was, but I have more than 100 years worth of memories in my head. Henry might remember it better than I do. As I looked at Henry, I realized that she was standing there with this sad expression. I decided not to ask her. I could tell what kind of answer Satoko gave back, then just by looking at Henry's face. Last year, June 1982, that was when Satoko was being abused by her cruel aunt. Recalling that, I didn't even want to know what Satoko answered, but just a year later, the Satoko who was so worn down, could no longer be seen. She became so strong. I know how difficult it was for her to stay tough and strong like this. Her growth over the past year is overwhelming to me. Are you done with the test? Ari returned from his office. Yes, we are finished. Satoko-chan was handling it a lot better now. We were done pretty quickly today. I did my best to ensure it was done quickly. I have plans after this, so I can't stay here for too long. You have something after this? Today is Sunday, right? We're doing a club activity at Mi's uncle's toy store today. Haha, no wonder you were so obedient with the test today. It was because you had plans. Sorry we held you so long. Well, here's your stuff, Satoko-chan. Ari put a big paper bag on the table. He opened it up and gave her instructions about the medications. Satoko had heard the same instructions over and over before, but Ari still continued to talk, just the same. Since you're doing better, you can go back to 2 shots per day. Please give yourself a shot before lunch and before you go to bed. Make sure you change the needle every time. Don't ever use the same one twice. I'm prescribing this one in case you really need it when you're feeling sick. Yeah, same as usual, I know. Satoko couldn't wait to meet our friends for the club activity. It made me feel happy to see her as excited as this. She only has to take 2 shots per day now. I'm glad. The number of shots she has to take each day represents how well she's doing. So it's a good thing that she has to take fewer shots. And it's tough for her to give herself a shot 2 times a day. Well, and you grew quiet after hearing my comment. Ari handed her the paper bag after he finished his instructions. Rika, at last it's over. Good job. You seemed anxious during the test today. Have fun with your friends. I'm sorry I was so tense. You have my thanks for all that you've done for me. Hee. Are you going to make it on time? I can give you a ride there. I also bought a new stuffed animal. It's in my car. You can give it a name if you like. Oh my, what sort of creature could it be? I wonder what I should name it. Well, what is it exactly? It's a cat again. One with tiger stripes this time. I think you'll like it a lot. Satoko and Takano are good friends. They're both fond of stuffed animals. Every time Takano gets a new one, she brags about it to Satoko. That's all they have in common, but having a friend like Takano is a special thing for Satoko. She's a part of the Hojo family who tried to betray the village. People at the clinic are the only adults who will even talk to Satoko. Have fun at the club. You should suggest wearing maid uniforms for the punishment game. I have every kind and every size. Either way, I'll see you next week. No, thank you. See you next week. Well, let's get going. The battle's today, not only against the club members. I'm itching to put my skills to the test. I bowed slightly and made to leave the examination room, but I soon realized something. Ari was looking at me with a sad expression on his face. Just that look, I could tell what he wanted to say. Please take care of Satoko-chan if something happens to her. I nodded at him and stepped out in the hallway with Satoko. My goodness, I'm used to these tests and quizzes, but they always leave me exhausted. You don't like taking the test? Well, I don't, but they are my job. There's nothing I could do about that. Satoko is supporting Ari's research. She gets financial support by helping him out, or at least that's what Satoko thinks she's doing. I'm going to take a few minute break here, guys, to catch my breath and get a quick drink. I am back. Satoko was bursting with enthusiasm, so we headed to Okonomiya at full speed. We wound up waiting for Akichi and the other club members for a long time. We got here early, but they were late. I think they were late the last time we did this too. Did I mean that this was something that was meant to happen? It's unpleasant that I can't even change the most minor of fates. Finally saw them coming toward us on their bikes. Hello everyone, how utterly slow love you are. Satoko acted like she was upset, but I could tell that she was pleased to see them just the same. Oh well, Satoko's so cute, and that's why I'll never tire of her. She's adorable. Satoko's behavior soothes my feelings of frustration. This is why I love Satoko. If she was a small fluffy animal, I would definitely keep her in a cage. Good morning, Satoko-chan and Rika-chan. Good morning. Hey, good morning, Rika-chan. Satoko, think fast. We gotta do this quick before the cops get here. Our goal is 1 billion yen. Huh? Kichi, what in the world are you talking about? Are we late? When did you guys get here? It didn't take too long, so we've been waiting for you for a while. Mian and Rena knew that Satoko gets a checkup every Sunday at the clinic. Sorry about that. Ki-chan didn't show up on time, so that's why we're late. That Kichi, so he's the reason that they're always late. And that's not really surprising. Nippa. Wait a minute, am I the bad guy here? Of course, all of the club members, you're the only one who could play the villain. Ho ho. What's that supposed to mean? You better watch your mouth. Kichi and Satoko messed around with each other. Satoko acted like she was crying and Rena punched Kichi, knocking him out cold. It was the same old situation they always got into. I could watch this sort of thing forever. It's like having a glass of cold milk after taking a hot bath. I could never win against her. You should get up and move before she cracks your front teeth. We all laughed at him and finished greeting each other. They're as lively as always. Nothing's more precious than one's health. You're sounding like an old lady, Rika. Shut up, who cares what you think? I'm not going to eat any sweets if you keep on saying things like that. Ow. And you're saying that we get more depressed than usual. I should stop teasing her so much. It was a joke. Will you get off of me? Ow. I'm sorry. Ow. And you love sweet treats. She especially loves cake and ice cream. Says she can't eat anything. She has to depend on me when it comes to that. In other words, whatever I eat, Henyu can taste too. Even if Henyu craves it, then it doesn't mean anything if I don't eat it. In other words, I would have total control of what she eats. That's why it's fun to tease her saying that I'll eat and what I won't. It's almost as fun as teasing Satoko. Hell, you shouldn't be in a good mood today, Rika-chan. I'm wanting to take you home. You'll be arrested if you do that, you know. Hey, Mian, the store owner is calling you. Rika, did you hear there's to be a prize for the club activity today? I remember. Mian was going to be paying 50,000 yen out of her pocket as a prize. I couldn't believe she could just afford that. Therefore, I had to assume that she has some kind of guarantee that she won't lose. And do you know what it is? It's 50,000 yen. 50,000 yen! Satoko stared at me. Oh no. She's expecting me to be surprised to hear that the price was 50,000 yen. It's natural to be surprised, but there ain't that sum. But I didn't react because I already knew it. Perhaps I gave the impression that I've known it for a long time. Kichi-san, is that amazing? The price is 50,000 yen? 50,000 yen? What the heck is that? That's like 5 years worth of the Kichi GMP. Satoko said the same thing to Kichi. She probably assumed that I wasn't listening to her, so she decided to talk to Kichi instead. Oh, that was just a small mistake. I'm fine. If I get 50,000 yen, I can get a lifetime supply of soy sauce. Wait, why ever would you buy soy sauce with a price like that? Because a certain someone always gives me a dirty look when I ask her to go and get soy sauce from the store. Nippa. You're so mean, Rika. How much soy sauce do you think you can even get for 50,000 yen? Man, I want to see. Kichi joined the conversation, which finally brought us back to our normal pace. In order to pursue a greater happiness, I need to sacrifice a smaller one. In a perfect world, Rika Furude was supposed to be surprised to hear from her best friend that the price was 50,000 yen. But I already knew that, and I knew it from my previous life, so all I could do was give her a boring reaction. I can't be surprised at that big price of 50,000 yen. I can't give her the reaction that she expects from me. I am losing the ability to be surprised by life. And after the continued repetition of small incidents like this, there will be nothing left that I can find interesting. Nothing to be surprised about. I'll never be impressed with anything. Eventually, I'll lose my emotions entirely. That's why I'm always trying to be careful. I make sure I act like the Rike Furude who doesn't know anything, even though I may not be impressed as a young girl. As a young girl, Rike Furude should be impressed with many things. Rika Furude is supposed to act excited when she encounters something for the first time. I try to do at least, but the more and more I try, the more I feel like Rika Furude is someone very distant. Rika, I'm sorry. I know I'm the only waste of my lifespan by feeling depressed like this. I should enjoy this life. I don't mean my lifespan internally. I'm not referring to my physical lifespan, but my mental one. The more and more I repeat the same days, the more I lose, from wonder to passion, and eventually my life will become an overplayed videotape. I'm tired of that tape. I have a choice to close my eyes and sleep. By the time I wake up, the video should be over. But in reality, my life is not an upbeat old videotape. If I close my eyes and sleep, that would be my death. When my mental lifespan is over, Rika Furude will turn into a doll who can't even move a finger by her own will. When that happens, my pursuit of happiness will be over. I don't even want that to happen. It's been at least 100 years, if not more. I've been stuck living in this hell for so long. I don't want my life to end here. Sorry, I'm fine now. You must find it funny that I'm complaining about only a century. Well, I've gotten used to this fate by now. Alright, I'm fine, Rika Furude. I'm Rika Furude. If I don't stay focused on being Rika Furude, I'm afraid I might end up showing my true self inside of that shell. Rika Furude is supposed to be cute and innocent little girl after all. Meep, what would you buy if you got 50,000 yen, Reina? I wonder if I could buy the Kenta-kun doll. Do you think they'll sell it to me if I give 50,000 to the fried chicken store? Oh, I think it'd be easier for you to buy the tools and wheelbarrow to steal the doll. I bet Reina-san could break the chain with her bare hands if she wanted to. Oh, haha, I agree on that one. How you're also mean. Thus, you join the typical flow of conversation naturally. Once I enter that flow, it's not hard for you to continue as Rika Furude. Being Rika Furude is like flying a kite for me. Once it's up in the air, it can stay in the air for a while, but if something happens, it loses control. So a heck of a challenge to get it back on track. Every time I try to get back up in the air, the kite gets dragged on the ground and wears out. I'm exactly like that. Finally, Meow started clapping and her hands getting one's attention. I already knew the rules. My members will be broken into 5 different groups, and each group plays a game that they choose together. I was secretly hoping that Meow would change the rules for some reason. There's nothing more boring than to already know what was going to happen. Meow can be very capricious. She might really change the rules. Yeah, but it seems like she's already playing this game for several days already. A strong will could be fitted too, huh? Normally, when we're doing club activities, Meow decides what to play at the last minute. She opens her locker and randomly decides what game to play. For that reason, our club activities are rarely repeated throughout my lives. That's why I'm never bored with them. But just as Henry said, today's event was something that Meow had been planning for a while. I was certain she wouldn't suggest anything spontaneously today. In that case, this won't be up to random chance. Meow had only had one idea in her mind, and therefore it was equivalent to destiny. Although her idea of having this event in the toy store was actually a spontaneous one, in all the lives I repeated, there's a very low chance for this event to occur. You shouldn't expect anything to be different. I'm not expecting it. Of course, I was lying just now. I was hoping that Meow would suggest a new rule for this game. If it was the same rules again, I'd be suffering for a few minutes while I listened to instructions. Nothing's more frustrating than walking the same path over and over again. Please, Meow, please change my fate. Please. First, we're going to be divided into 5 groups. Then one from each table. It was the same rules after all. Sorry, I was holding on to a small hope. Small hopes will hurt you, Rika. You're right. You've told me so many times, but I never learned. Henry has taught me so many times. She taught me the trick to swimming in the flow of destiny. The flow of destiny is just like a river. By going with the flow, I can swim the direction I want to some extent, but of course, trying to swim against the flow requires a great effort. Allowing myself to drift causes the least amount of strain. Of course, some strong currents are impossible to resist, even with great effort. If I recklessly try to resist without realizing it's impossible, then I'll only wear myself out needlessly, just as if fighting a river's current. So Henry taught me to read those currents, which is why I should easily imagine that the rules would be the same the moment I learned Mion had planned today's event in advance. Yet I still wish the rules would be different, a completely wasteful action. In the end, my hopes were betrayed. only leaving my heart worn out, and things like that would cause me to separate further from Rika Furude. Eventually I'll grow tired of everything and lose all interest and die. A fate which can't be fought and must be accepted. I know you can read the flow of destiny, Rika. You're right. My lifespan's already growing short. I should treasure what I have left. I sighed and pretended as though I was listening to what Mia was explaining. What's wrong, Rika-chan? Are you bored? Kichi surprised me all of a sudden. Are you talking to me? This had never happened before, so I thought he was talking to someone else. But it seemed like Kichi was really talking to me. Yeah, you look bored ever since this morning. Are you sleeping from waking up too early? I was just thinking that I've already done this before. No one would understand what I mean anyway, but Kichi might. And so I told him how I honestly felt. Huh? Are you serious? No wonder Mia seems so used to this. I'm looking forward to it since it's my first time now. I envied him for feeling that way. I sighed knowing that I never will. I understand how frustrating it is to hear the same instructions over and over again. I went to the grammar school once and studied ahead a lot there. I remember how much I hated hearing the same lectures in school. Kichi didn't understand me, but I'm glad he at least understood how frustrating it was to repeat the same situation. I'm the same. I'm frustrated at the school too. What? Are you really? You always seem so happy. Rika Furude is supposed to be happy at school. That's why I act that way. Hearing the same things over and over again is like torture. It's easy for me to change what Satoko cooks for dinner. I could simply volunteer to cook instead of her, but I can't change what the teacher teaches at school every day. I have no choice but to be quiet and listen to her lecture. Yeah, there's nothing you can really do. You can't just tell the teacher to move on because you already know what she's teaching you. But this is a different story. It's a game. It's a game that's already predetermined. You don't know that. After all, we're being split into 5 tables by the drawing lots, right? Plus, each group gets to choose what game their table plays. There's no way to predict what games we'll do battle over or what exciting turnabouts awaits us today. But I can make a good guess. No, you can't. Kichi smiled as he contradicted me. That smile seemed so ignorant to me. While the groups will be decided by drawing lots, each member will be in a different group. Kichi, you'll be sitting over there. My table will be right there. I'll be playing a fishing game. You'll be playing a game called Billionaire. I don't know how, but last time we were broken into 5 separate groups. It couldn't have been a coincidence. I'm sure Mia did something to ensure it would end up like that. I'm 100% sure. As for the games we play, I'm not totally sure, but if each member in the group follows the same thinking pattern, so end up making the same choices. If you roll dice many times, you begin to approach the average. One person's spontaneous act can be random, but multiple people's thoughts can be averaged out for the most part. The more people that are involved, the more difficult it is to alter the path of fate. And so I'm pretty sure we'll end up playing the same games. Kichi seems surprised to hear my prediction. What the hell? Is that like a premonition? How could you be so sure? That's what fate is all about. Fate, huh? That makes me want to smash that fate into pieces. He smiled at me again. I knew he was just smiling without reason, but I felt a small hope from him. After all, Kichi really did shatter fate before, but it was just that miracle that happened in my previous life. I couldn't expect him to do the same thing in this one, otherwise I would be worn down by my high expectations again. Alright guys, I'm gonna take another few minute break here. My throat is getting sore again. Alright, I am back. Alright, well, we're going to decide our groups by drawing lots from this box. The club members go first. Mion drew first and Satoko followed. The results were the same as last time. I really don't want to start a fight against the club member at the very start. I'm sorry if we get the same group, Rika-chan. Don't worry, your table's over there. Mine is right there. Whatever you say, you watch. Kishi looked upset. See, my predictions are always right. It was a 20% chance. Anyone can make a random guess. Kichi told me that was just a coincidence. And what if I predicted my seat right too? What's the percentage for that? It's 20 of 20, so 4%. I'll believe you if you get right the percent that low. Kichi grinned at me, believing such a chance was impossible. It's your turn now, Rika-chan. Mion handed me the box of slips. No matter what I did, I'd be getting that table. There was a reason behind it. Mion was doing something to make sure that we all get a different table. I thought about why Mion would do that. With the information I've gathered about Mion over many years, I could see her reasoning. She probably thinks that she'll feel bad if a member loses in the first stage. You're right, if the club members are in the same group, someone will have to lose. If everyone was in a different group, we'd all have a chance to move on to the second stage. That's why she was controlling this draw. I put my hand inside of the box. I could feel several folded pieces of paper inside it. But if you thought for a moment, it was odd. No matter which one I choose, I never get any other table. I wonder how she's making it so you sit at that last table. Me too. Only Mion knows. All I know is that no matter what paper I choose, I'll be sitting at that last table. I got it. All the papers in the box are the same. That must be. I bet Mion said some kind of trap on this box. There's probably a box for a magic show or something. There could be some kind of gimmick inside the box that she could switch what's inside of it. Depending on who's drawing the paper, she changed a lot of the controller in the result. Blah, blah, blah. I messed up the sentence. I didn't know exactly how, but I was sure she was doing something. I didn't even need to know how she was doing it. The most important thing was why. Meep. I don't know which one to pick. No matter which one you pick, your fate is already decided. She was admitting it herself. I was certain that, based on what I felt inside, there were less than 10 pieces of paper inside of this box. In other words, there were hidden pieces of paper that I couldn't touch somewhere inside the box. I smiled at Mion as I figured out her trick, but she had no clue why I was smiling. I'm taking this one. Sure, let me see. Aha. Wow, the club members are all divided into separate groups. Mion behaved as though this was news to her. Such an actress. The other contestants made a dissatisfied noise. They haven't faced a club member no matter which table they got. Kichi was surprised too, and not only because we were divided. See, our fate is already decided. I smiled at him in return. Kichi was in denial for a moment, but then he smiled back at me. The possibility was in 1 in 25. I'm impressed. It was not. I predicted that Mion and Satoko would be at a different table, so the possibility was even lower than that. Kichi understood that, but normal people like him can't understand the meaning of fate. That's why he put it off as a coincidence. But Kichi, what if I predicted instead about what game you'll be playing? The possibility would be 1 in billions. There are a lot of games in the store. What if that prediction is right too? Will he still believe it's just a coincidence? I stayed quiet in my seat and waited to see what game my group was going to decide on. They were going to choose the fishing game. I can't expect them to choose anything other than that. I can't have high expectations, otherwise I'll be hurt again. One of the boys stood up. He walked towards a shelf full of games and picked up one box. He lifted the box above his head and turned around so he could show it to us. I closed my eyes as he did so, but I could still hear what he was saying. Check this out. Do you guys remember this? We should play this one. Yeah, it's the one with the spinning fish, right? I could taste the bitter chemicals from my brain in my mouth. I clenched my lips tight and tried to endure the numbing feeling. Ow, I'm sorry. I guess I'm not doing well today. For some reason, I just can't accept this flow. It wasn't because I wasn't feeling well, of course. It was because of my emotions. Our powers are getting weaker, and we can only rewind about 2 weeks of our lives. I was feeling that the end wasn't near for us. In order for me to change my tragic fate, I needed more time to prepare. But I can only go back 2 weeks. That means my power to resist my fate has significantly weakened. Even if I become as weak as a small leap in the river, I should be able to do something in order to change my path. But if I can only go back to the point where I'm getting ready to be swallowed into the whirlpool, there's no chance for me to escape it. I lived for so long believing that I could eventually escape my fate and survive. I believed that I had a chance in every moment of every life I lived. But there are limits to those chances. There are so many limits in my repeated lives, and perhaps this might be my last chance. That may be why I'm feeling so restless. Stop it, Rika. The harder you think about it, the worse it'll be on your mind. I know. Just be quiet already. Ow. My brain was numb if you were surrounded by a gray mist. I was inside the crowded toy store, but very far away from everyone else. The tighter I closed my eyes and harder I clenched my teeth, the emptier my head became. No. Rika, are you okay? Huh? So I tried to focus. I became conscious again, and you looked at me with concern. I tend to lose my mind easily right after coming back from death. I usually have more time to relax and get used to my new life, but I have no time for that now. The Minagoroshi festival is only 2 weeks away. I can't just relax and wait for myself to get used to things. Don't be a wimp, Rika. Don't be a wimp. Fight against fate. But even if I do that, the fate will always betray me and I grieve. What if I did the opposite? What if I didn't fight against fate? A few weeks after the Minagoroshi festival in 1983, I will die because I am fated to do so. Fight, don't fight. Don't fight. Don't fight, don't fight. Whew. As I repeat the same words, they started to lose all their meaning. I felt like I was chanting something. I bit my tongue in my mind to force myself to stop thinking about it. It was calming down a little bit. I wouldn't open my eyes. I saw the fishing game right in front of me as well as my pole. Someone placed it there while I had my eyes closed. It was as if I was seeing the immovable reality of fate right in front of me. It felt like a final verdict to me. What do you think, Kichi? This is what fate is all about. Do I want to earn his agreement or his sympathy? I stood up and walked over towards Kichi's table. This group could decide on the game, so the store owner is deciding for them. Just like the last time, the store owner will pick the game of life. Aha, it's kind of unfair to play a game that your opponent chooses. We couldn't decide on anything because we kept refuting each other's suggestions. As your table decided on what to play, you can see it for yourself. I looked up at the table and saw the fishing game there. Kichi was surprised to see that my prediction was right again. He also remembered that I predicted his game too. So you're saying the owner of the game, So you're saying that the owner was going to predict. Damn, I suck at reading. So you're saying that the owner is going to bring out the game of life just as you predicted? I am pretty good at predicting things, Nipa. Are you serious? Alright, I'll believe you if he really brings us the game of life. You bet. Your group is going to play the game of life. Fine, I'm willing to bet you don't need to cheat and talk him into it. He wants you to play a game he has lots of, so I'll be bringing out that one. I remember it was covered by Dust when he gave it to them last time. Since we had to buy the game if we lost, he was trying to sell products he had a surplus of. Therefore, he won't be choosing any game at random. He'll be looking for one with bad sales, with a strong will to do so. That will of his is going to make that pull of fate the stronger. In essence, there's no guarantee that he'd be choosing the game of life specifically. He might choose something else that's also overstocked. The owner finally reappeared, the box covered in dust. Whoa, see? I told you so. Here's the game of life box in his hands. The part of me that hoped it wouldn't be the game of life tasted bitterness at the betrayal, but the cynical part of me that expected it to happen found it amusing in a way. I felt like my life personally was twisting more and more. Why did you pick that game, huh? Ha ha ha. Well, I just picked it at random. I found it in a pile of inventory. I have it in the bag. It's not like I brought the most beat up one. When he heard that the owner chose the game randomly, Kichi shrugged his shoulders in confusion. That must be his way of surrendering. Hey Rika-chan, is this really a prediction? Nipa? Well, some old people from the village once told me that you're the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama. They told me that you have special powers. They said your predictions are always accurate. Is that really true? I was surprised that Kichi actually believed it in the superstition stories he heard from the elderly villagers. I just thought that which is destined to happen. To make it clear, it's because I've already witnessed this world once before. Damn, I can't even make fun of you. Kishi seems like he was just fooling around. He probably only thinks I'm goofing around and acting haughty because my random predictions all came true. I had hope for him. I thought the owner might be in a different game because Kichi once had the power to change fate. But that didn't happen. I'm not surprised. But I felt betrayed again. Huh? It hurts. I won the bet. I speak to Kichi sarcastically. I want him to understand that no one can change the path of fate. However, Kichi did nothing but smile. Don't get carried away, Rika-chan. Don't just say that you can read the future. For a guy who words like destiny and fate mean a lot more than you think. They're not things you can figure out that easily. Meep? I had no idea what he was trying to say, but he had made me nervous. It wasn't a scary feeling. No, it was closer to hope. You said it was fate that the owner would choose the game of life. I have to admit that your prediction was correct, but you also said something else. What did I say? You said I was fated to play it. Yes, it was indeed his fate. Fate could change sometimes with uncertainty and time, but the possibility that it would change in this situation was very slight. I doubted that anything would turn out differently. In that case, I'll change that fate. Eh? Kichi stood up in a hurry, and then he started talking to Tomita and Okamura's group members. Sorry, but I own that game at home. I know every little rule about it. What? Is that true? Yep. So that won't be a fair game for us to play, sir. I'm sorry, but can you give us a different game? Sure, I'll bring you guys a different one. The owner picked up the game of life again and took it back into the storage. As I remained there in shock, he returned with a game called Pop-Up Pirate. How about this one? Oh, that's the one where we stab a knife inside the barrel. What do you think, guys? This is a fair game, isn't it? Yeah, the rules are simple enough. Let's play that one. We got a deal now. We're going to play Pop-Up Pirate. Kishi winked at me as I stood there with my mouth open. It looked like he had just forcibly changed my prediction, but for me, it's not that simple. It was supposed to be fate. That's why the owner brought the game of life to their table. They were supposed to play that game. That's what happened the last time. That's what was supposed to happen, but he just changed that fate in front of my eyes like it was nothing. It was as if someone asked me to stand an egg on its end, and as I struggled to do so, Kichi forcefully cracked the egg and made it stand up in front of me. I should have had a far greater power than Kichi, but why was I feeling so weak? Was it because I wasn't trying to fight against fate so I wouldn't get hurt? Because I was going with the flow without trying too hard? What was I thinking? You looked so bored just a few minutes ago. I know why. You didn't want to play the fishing game, did you? Yeah, I'm not going to hide it anymore. And that's easy. So I'm a witch who's been living for more than 100 years. So I thought I was better than anyone just because I could see the path of fate. That's stupid. I really am so stupid. Kichi tapped me on the back. He was urging me to return to my table, and the sensation of his touch filled up my heart with emotion. I wasn't going to stand idly by anymore. I thought I couldn't cheat fate. I thought 2 weeks wasn't enough, but Kichi just defied his fate in a matter of 5 minutes. I feel bad for the fishies when I play the fishing game. I want to play something else. The other people at my table looked at me with confused expressions. Their reactions were scaring me. Right at that moment, I could really feel that I was facing the impenetrable wall of fate. So I have nothing to be scared of. Sure, what game do you want to play? We'll play whatever you want. They accepted my suggestion, gave up on the fishing game so easily. That's why I used to be more aggressive before, but I became so tired and bitter and mean, I gave it in to fate, but I'm not going to yield anymore. Kichi taught me that. He didn't have any memories from his previous life, but Kichi was still Kichi. He never gave in to fate. For the first time in a long time, I feel motivated to fight. If I want to, I can change destiny in 5 minutes, and I have a whole 2 weeks to work with. I'm different now. I'm going to fight against fate. Let's do our best. Unconscious of my motivation, Henyu was wearing a sad expression. Okay, guys, once again, I'm going to take another 3-minute break to catch my breath and whatnot. Alright, I am back again. I see, we can't hold you there if you have to go to help your uncle. Yeah, it's a pretty small store after all, but couldn't he have guessed that if he had a bargain sale, his place would be packed? I can't believe he's selling a carton of eggs for only 10 yen. As we're getting ready to move on to the next stage, I'm got a call from work. This was fated to happen too. If I was still feeling depressed, I would have been in disgust with this situation. But after learning that would have felt like changed fate, I was in a good mood. Kichi and Mion seemed like they kept regretting that they weren't able to settle the match, but they were really good. But they are really such good friends. They're so close. I feel kind of jealous. Who? We really do not have any other boys his age in our class, do we? I suppose Mion's son is something like a male friend to Kichi's son. Ha ha ha, but Michin is a girl. She can't be another guy for him. Of course I know that, but when they were together, they looked like two boys hanging out. Reina and Satoko enjoyed the lingering excitement of the day as they watched Mion and Kichi happily goof off. The next moment, the owner came out from the store. Thank you for today, everyone. You brought me a lot of customers. He was holding 4 paper bags in his hands. I remember he gave us gifts as a reward for today. I think there were dolls inside. Here are your rewards for today. Hey, Uncle Yoshiro, don't I get one? He was giving them one to us. Mion didn't get anything because she's a family member. That's what happened last time, too. Oh, look, something cute is inside. Satoko let a cheer of joy. She saw a cute doll inside of her bag. Rina reacted the same way. Wow. This is so cute. I could take it home with me. Really? Did I get one too? Wow, look at this cute doll. Kichi got a gorgeous, expensive looking doll. It was by far the best one. It was adorable even to my eyes. Satoko, Rina, and Mion were feeling the same way. Haha, Kichi got the one that fits him in the least. Mion started making fun of him right away. She was only saying that because she was jealous that Kichi got a doll that she really wanted. This is pretty cute, pretty and cute. I can admit that, but it's not really my type of toy. Yeah, people will think that you're a pervert if you carry that thing around. Mion just can't be honest with herself. It was obvious that she was just trying to make him give up the doll so she could have it herself. She could just admit that and ask Kichi for it, but that's the cute side of Mion. Bet Kichi could never understand that. Kichi can't keep the doll after receiving that much bullying from Mion. He was thinking about who she'd give it to. He probably didn't want to give it to Mion. Time froze for a moment. Henry whispered something in my ear. Rika, do you remember? Yes. If I remember, I don't think she did anything. I had to pause and look it up, but I think I don't know if I gave it to him. I thought about telling Kichi to give the doll to Mion, but I stayed quiet because I wanted to believe in him. When we were in the same situation in a previous life, Kichi gave the doll to Reina. Mion was deeply hurt by that, and the tragedy began shortly after that. If I didn't do anything and just watched them now, things were going to end the same way. But I'm sure that Kichi deeply regretted the fact that he didn't give the doll to Mion in that previous world. And while I was aware he didn't have any memories from that world, I was hoping that he vaguely remembered that strong emotion. I challenged him, without telling him anything. Kichi is contemplating whether he should give the doll to Mion Arena. He finally opens his mouth. Mion, if you think I would look like a pervert with this doll, who do you think deserves to have it? Huh? I don't know. All I'm saying is that the dolls aren't for boys. I see, then I guess you can have it here. Ooh. I didn't expect a multiple choice thing here in Higurashi. I know that happened a little bit in Human Echo, but I didn't expect that here. Okay, Kichi tossed the doll to Mion as if passing her a basketball. As if forcing her to carry his bag or something. Mion's face quickly turned red. Feeling shy, Kichi turned away from her. That was amazing. Kichi just made a miracle happen again. He did it without any memory of his previous life. It was exactly the same situation as in the previous world, but he made a totally different decision. Kichi. Rika, this might just be a coincidence, you know. His strong will is directly related to fate. Fate's will to give the doll to Rena was weak. This might have been a result of that. But I don't feel it was just a coincidence. I believe that Kichi remembers something in his heart, and because of that, he made some progress. Mion, having turned red, insisted that the cute doll would be a much better fit for Rena. Her attitude made it clear that she really wanted the doll, but she couldn't be honest about it. Oma just thinks that this cute dolls like this are more for girly girls, you know? This doll doesn't deserve to be owned by a tomboy like me, haha. I know that you want it. It's written all over your face. No, it's not written on my face. You're lying. Stop being mean. Meow shook her head with an embarrassed look, pretending she wasn't interested in the doll. Everyone here knew that she wanted it. We all looked at Meow with the big smiles on our face. Hey, it's not like I can only give this doll to a girl. Just think of it as a gift to you as a friend. Is that so? So you would give a doll to a boy too? Well, I would choose something else if I had a choice. But anyway, Gus would never reject a gift unless there's something shady going on. It's just me being generous. Why would you refuse it? Oh, so I can accept this doll even though I'm not a girly girl. Everyone thought Mia's reaction was hilarious. Rena couldn't stop chuckling, so Toko and I burst out laughing too. Meow having realized she was being laughed at got even more embarrassed. I'm offering this to you as a friend. I don't want to hear that you're not cherishing it. Oh, okay. This old man just wants to make it clear that he's not accepting it because he wants this doll. He's taking it because you said it's a gift from me as a friend. He's taking it as a courtesy so he doesn't disrespect your generosity. Doesn't disrespect you. And he was cracking up too. She was laughing in a loud voice, knowing that no one could hear her anyway. But this was a really good way to resolve the problem. Though that Mia's issue in the previous life was that she wanted Kichi to treat her like a girl, she got the doll because Kichi still wasn't treating her that way. Still, Mion looked very happy. Maybe it wasn't a big deal after all. I'm sure that Mion will take that doll with her to bed tonight. She'll kiss it good tonight, too. I could bet on that. It was written all over her face. She's finally accepting it. It was a challenge just for me to give her a doll. Kichi turns around the face, says, smiling bitterly. Haha, you did it, though. Yep, it was perfect. I'm impressed that you managed it. Mion's sound was hilarious. It was obvious the moment you looked at that, she really wanted the doll. Isn't that the truth? Hey, you guys, are you saying rude things about this old man? Knock it off already. Don't you have to get to work? You're going to be late. You guys better watch yourselves. Mion seemed like she wanted to stay longer, but after looking at her watch, she started heading to work. Everyone was wearing smiles on their faces. Today was such a fun day. Everyone had lots of fun and no one was hurt. I repeated the same day so many times before, but this time something was different. It's like I rolled a die and got a 6, and then I rolled it again and got a 6 again. I don't know if that's just a lucky coincidence or if it was meant to be, as if it's the god of fate celebrating my motivation to fight against them. Alright, this will probably most likely be the ending of this video, along with, the usual end of the chapter tip. Alright, review new tips. Good times to Oyoshi-sama. I was watching TV with Satoko and Henyu after eating dinner. It was a variety show and the performers were making the audience laugh. We were laughing too. Ho 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 ho, look at you now. Oh, but it looks so painful. Meepa. While the three of us were enjoying ourselves, in reality there was only Satoko and me in their room. I'm the only one who can see Henyu. Satoko can't see her at all. Henyu responds every time Satoko says anything. Satoko can't hear her, but Henyu still responds to her when she's in a good mood. It's like she's answering a question asked on TV. You could even compare it to playing house. She started playing this game with other people because she can't communicate with anyone else but me. Henyu always attends our club meetings and has a good time there too. If she could communicate with my other friends, she would have been a good match for us. But I don't want to hurt her feelings by thinking about that. If the story of the miracle written in the old scriptures is true, if it's really Henyu who performed it, she's someone who had tremendous power long ago. But now she doesn't have any spiritual power, and I'm the only one who can even see her. Henyu has never told me how she lost her power. I just have to assume that her spiritual power diminished over time. There's a legend in the Furude family that says that Oyoshi-sama will be reborn if a girl is born to the 7 generations in a row. With my brain, with my birth, Henyu was finally able to communicate to human for the first time in centuries. Does that mean that Oyoshi-sama has returned? The villager's image of Oyoshi-sama doesn't quite match up with that of Henyu. Especially when I see her lying on her belly watching TV with Satoko. Okay, that was the end. Well, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. So yeah.